Well, I mean, it's all still technically viable. You know what I'd love to see somebody do? Go get one of the old Citadel board games that they don't make, that they were back when they were partnered, decades ago, and submit one of like the paper models. Hi, everyone. Yeah, sorry about that. I had a little bit of an emergency I had to tend to, so I couldn't be here. But oh, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Um, I've got the stream running in another monitor right now, and I don't hear you. I can't hear you at all right now if you're saying
Test,
something.
test, test, test.
Oh, I think it just worked that time.
Okay, okay. Anyway, we're back again. It's me. I need to cut out all of the beginning parts of all of these videos because I keep not being able to be heard. Anyway, back again. We're going to be looking at all the fancy new releases, 10th edition stuff, more Golden Demon. They actually posted the people who got commended, and yeah, Frank and I are back. Um, I am not so lonely this week. Frank is still concerned. Anyway, that was the rehash. Hello.
Well, also to clarify, when I said that was the nicest thing you ever said to me, that was you saying that you just hated me a lot.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Nicest thing I've ever said. Thanks. I sound like a jerk. Anyway, so we are back again. I can't. I can't. Every week something. All right. Well,
Well,
anyway.
every week it's not something. Every week it's the same thing.
Yeah, every week it's the same thing, but it's always somehow different, and I can't fix it. And yeah.
So
So
what caused it this time? Just out of curiosity.
I have no idea. So the last couple of times I had it on desktop audio, and that's how it was playing my mic, um, because it was going through the thing. I don't know. And then I put it on, and I had to put the actual mic on this time. I don't understand.
Hmm.
I don't understand. Anyway. All right. Been working on a whole bunch of stuff recently. I got a whole butt ton done in the last 2 weeks. Um, And Frank, what have you done in the last 2 weeks? Anything new? Anything exciting?
Well, the only thing I've really been working on, every once in a while, I throw a little bit of paint on the bust that I've been working on, but I haven't made enough progress
Mm,
to really show any pictures. I think I'm on the fourth or fifth version of this metallic collar that the bust wears. I've just been going back and forth and keep redoing all the speculars on it, and actually working on it tonight here a little bit while we're streaming. So hoping to make a little bit of progress on that. But I think I finally got the lights and shadows correct on it, and that's the trickiest part with non-metallics is just getting your lights correct or your lighting or highlights correct. But other than that, I have been working on my display board for my Thousand Suns army.
nice.
Um, that is a project that is definitely going to take a few more weeks to get finished, but once I get through all the sculpting of it, I am be moving rapidly into painting, and then it should just really fall into place from there. But I haven't been posting any pictures of that because
Is a
for different
secret.
reasons. There's a little bit of a secret. I'm doing some things that I haven't seen anyone else do yet, so I don't quite want to quite post them yet.
Gotcha. Okay. It's a secret. It's gonna be cool. He's told me. I got in on the secret. It's gonna be cool.
No,
Everybody, Every
you've heard part of it. I have a couple other things up my sleeve too.
Fair, but everyone be jealous of me for the part of the secret that I know. If you see me doing stuff, I am also painting. I'm working on the base of the lion. Well, the first of three that I'm
Nice.
going to be doing, but
Yeah, I
um,
love that picture of that shield you posted, by the way. That looked really good.
oh yeah, let me pull that up. I had a good time with that shield, and even though um, the bottom part is there's a little mess up, I have since fixed that. So yeah, um, yeah, I did a lot to this to make sure that like it had that matte background. It has the snake is a different like metallic than the eagle, and yeah, Dom really seems to like it.
Awesome. Happy to hear that.
So that is one of the big things I have been working on is the lion. That shield is now attached, by the way. The lion himself is done. I'm just working on the base and um the demons he has with him. I mean the Watchers.
Hmm. I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Yes, the Watchers in the dark that are totally not demons. Yes, they are. Okay. But yes, he's almost done. He's looking really good. I did. Yes, I tried to do. I also finished an Azrael, and I've been trying to do non-metal metallics with the swords, which is something that I have never really done before, like truly really done. So I don't know if they're really coming out right, but they're power swords, so it doesn't really matter as long as they look shiny and powered.
Yep.
But
I mean, I'm looking at the picture of the Azrael that you just finished up, and it's look the non-metallic metals look pretty good. So I think that you're definitely, as you're working on it, it's getting a lot better.
yes, well, the lion one is a gray. So, excuse, oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Bless you. Bless you.
I should have muted there. Sorry. But the lion one is a gray, so it's going for more of a like silver sheeny kind of look. But I don't have any of the reflections or anything on there yet, or at all. So I'm still working on figuring out NMMM. But it is a fun process, and the more you do it, like the longer you take on it, the better it seems to look. So
Hmm. It's generally like the most difficult part about it is if you can sketch your NMM out. Sometimes I've had projects where I've spent hours just working and trying to perfect a blend, and then I look at it and, like, the blend is perfect, and it's just like, oh, but it looks terrible because the highlights in the wrong spot.
right.
So just learning how to put your highlights in the right area and your shadows in the right places, that's far more important than trying to get a blend in place.
Yeah, and that's been difficult. But once again, fortunately, these are power swords, so it doesn't matter too much.
Hmm.
And the blends aren't perfect, obviously, but it's okay. Again, Dom's been happy. As long as the customer is happy.
If your client's happy, you're happy.
Yes. Um but yes, otherwise, not much else. I mean, I have also finished a Vulcan Histan for Andrew. So that is good. And the entirety of the Night Army I finally finished and taken pictures of. I mean, he has the Lancer, a Castigator with the sword, that I'm doing now. It's going to be in these red and white and black colors, but other than that, the Night Army is pretty much done. All 5 of the Armigers and Helverins, and then the 2 big guys. So. And I finished the other big guy. There he is, the Gallant. That's what he's called, the Gallant. Who's
Cool.
got the big laser gun thing. I'm not sure what the weapon is called. It's big. It's glowy. And it scares me a little bit. But it's big and glowy, all right. But anyway, yeah,
So
that's
far, do you have a favorite project or a commission that you've done that you just really felt that was something that was really spoke to you or really caught your attention?
Let me think. I'm going back through. Well, I really enjoyed doing Angron. Um, let me think. Probably the Castigator or the Cerastus Knight, the one with the sword, the first one I did. I didn't even paint it. I just did the weathering on it, and I didn't realize how much fun weathering was because he
Mm-hmm.
just wanted it to be dirtied up. He just wanted it to look nasty. He already painted it, and it was a basic paint job. But what kicked it up was the weathering, and I did the full gamut of weathering. You got the verdigris, you got the paint chipping, the mud, rust. It really came out cool, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. It only took me a couple hours to do.
Nice.
That was
Yeah.
my least favorite is any of these sisters, uh,
Oh,
which I've also been working on. I have a whole mess of them on my desk that I've been working on in the background, trying to finish this commission up for my
are you,
buddy Paul.
you're not still working on the same commission that you were. I saw half of it like in Christmas time.
Yes,
Oh wow.
he kind of just wanted it done. At this point, he just wants it done by 10th. So it was a very large commission. There's a lot of sisters. So um, I'm trying to get through pretty much the sisters themselves now. There's about 40 of them. So
Mm. So would you say that you've painted in excess of 2,000 points at this point in time? And like you're painting a collection, or is this still an army?
well, he wants to get into playing, and he kind of wants to do some, competitive a little bit. So he gave me a whole mess of stuff everywhere from Seraphim and the ones with the halberds to Celestine to like literally most of the character models, including a hospitaler. Um, so like, yeah, probably if you did it right, in excess of 2,000 points.
Mm. Nice.
But I pretty much I'm gonna have them done by the end of June, so you can have them for 10th edition.
Well, it's very exciting because I've seen that commission in person, so it's a very lovely army that you're working on.
Oh yes, and I hate white. I told him jokingly, I was like, I had to adjust my prices because of you, and then I wasn't actually joking. Um, but yeah, so good things, good things, good things. But yeah, I did thoroughly enjoy doing the Azrael. Azrael was fun. I did a lot of fun stuff with the lion. A lot of fun stuff with the cloaks. Like those were fun to blend. Um, I think his helmet wings came out really good. Um, and overall, he's one of the cleaner Marines I've done. So like, and I don't. Marines aren't my favorite. Like I can do them, obviously. They're not hard. I'll do as many as I need to, but he's probably one of the cleaner ones I've done. And my personal favorite is the inner cloak because I had to mix all the colors together. It's hard to see in the pictures, but where it's that like kind of fuchsia,
Hmm.
that was a that was fun to do for me.
That's awesome.
And the lion's cloak is actually a whole bunch of mixed stuff. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's been what's new with me, essentially. And just general hype for 10th.
Anything in particular that has you super hyped up for 10th in it
No,
yet, or?
because they haven't put orcs up yet. They haven't done the preview for orcs. They put
Well,
up
we at least did get a green army today. That's gotta be something.
that one was terrible. Um, and yes, they put up Votan, and I do like Votan, but I don't care. I want orcs. They should have been the first Xenos, and by first Xenos, I mean first army.
Well, then you would have had nothing to look forward to.
No, I would have lorded over the fact that the orcs are looking the best out of all of them.
Fair, fair.
Yes, because they are going. Orcs is the best. Anyway, rant over. Um, So let's take a look at the Golden Demon.
Let's.
Okay, let's look at part one here. So we got a whole bunch, and again, we don't have different angles because GW doesn't like different angles, but we do have a whole bunch of the the commended entries. So they're like the runners up, I guess.
Yep, these would be if you haven't participated in a Golden Demon, or if you've never been to one. A commended entry is someone that made it to the absolute final stage of judging, and they were up for a demon, but they, just couldn't quite make the cut in the end.
Right, right, right. So let's take a look through here. Oh, it looks like we have first Leagues of Votan, Uther. I think I technically have this model. Um, and he is pretty. Love the non-metal metallics. I do like the kind of inverse power weapons that their plasma swords and axes are.
Oh yeah, that's a popular style for them, to make them look like they're lava weapons.
Right. So like everything's on the internal instead of there being like the white sheen on the outside, it's black, and yeah, I really like that. And then yeah, overall, I like them.
Cool. Yeah, and it's a good model. The non-metallics look very good. Like you said, um, if I had to take a guess as to why this probably ended up as a commended entry, um, it's again tough to tell with only one angle, but to me, some of the facial features, like the non-metallic metals in the armor, look fantastic. And he's even got some really good bounce lighting in there. But if I had to take a guess, the facial features seem just a tad bit off. Like if you really get in there, but
Yeah.
that's about the only thing I could potentially see.
Yeah, that's yeah, same. It's not. It's hard. It's really hard. Even if I even when you zoom in and stuff, it's really hard to see it. But yeah, I could see that definitely. But with Golden Demon, they could have been, these could all be on par, and it's just a tiny little problem somewhere. You know what I mean? So, and not knocking it. It's just that it's that type of a competition.
Yeah, that's unfortunately what it turns into. Is it turns into a who has the least number of mistakes type of situation. But we've talked about that before.
Yeah, exactly. Then next we got up here. Ooh, we have a new Horus on the old Horus models. Plinth. I like it. I do enjoy.
Yeah, this one's a great model. A lot of really nice use of contrast between desaturated and saturated colors.
Oh yeah.
Very, a very lovely color palette.
I yes, and this model is gorgeous. So it does help, and the fact that she used the old plinth for it, or the old display, is great. All right, what we got next, and we have, I'm not sure what is this one of the battle automata from Is it supposed to be one of the battle automata for what's his name?
No,
Perturabo.
I don't think this is one of the battle automata. I think this is just a. It's supposed to be a. Oh, I don't know where the base model's from, but it could be converted out of the Forge World Perturabo model. I'm not. No, I don't think so.
No, it
Because
is. It is
oh,
because
it
I
is.
recognize the guns at least.
Okay.
Um,
But I think it's just supposed to be a an Iron Warrior's Warsmith in Terminator armor.
it's a big warsmith. No, I could see that though. Yeah. Okay. I just wasn't sure if this was supposed to be a Perturabo or one of his battle automata, but no, yeah, this is definitely based off of him because the gun on his right hand, on actually on both arms, those are the guns from the model.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, I don't quite recall, but regardless of um,
base.
the base of the model it's converted out of, um, it's just this is a personal favorite because I do really like the Iron Warriors as a Chaos Space Marines Legion, and it's just very well done. The amount of labor and effort that went into getting that non-metallic metal correct all across the model has got to be intense. And
Definitely.
the way I'm looking at this, it's not quite so evident on the shoulder pad, but I'm pretty sure all of the spiky filigree that's around the model, you can see it a bit in the left leg. The right leg, if you're looking at the photo, but the model's left leg, I'm pretty sure that's sculpted out of green stuff.
Nice.
I'd have to look up the Forge World Perturaba model to be sure, but I'm pretty sure that is
Yeah,
sculpted detail on there.
I can pull that up. Sorry, guys. I was looking at Titans because, of course, I was. If anyone is looking to get me a present, oh, hey Andrew. I saw that he commented. If anyone is looking for me, I will gladly take a
Yep.
big one.
I'm looking at the Perturaba model right now. Is definitely the Perturaba model. So he did a lot of conversion work on this, including all of the extra detail that you see on there, like those the spikes and the arrows all around the model. That's all sculpted on by him. Green
Yup.
stuff.
Oh yeah. That's nuts.
So yeah, this one is a personal favorite of mine as far as the entries are concerned.
Yeah. There's so much work to that. He repositioned the arms. Oh. All right. Well, next up we have the jungle fighter. What's her face? Forget her name. But it is nice. Perched atop a AT-AT or ATST, whatever, the Scout Walker.
The Sentinel.
Yeah, that's the word I can't say. It has nothing to do with Star Wars. Everyone be quiet. Ooh, the head's also sculpted from green stuff. That's cool. Looks good. I mean, all the skin tones look right. The down Sentinel looks good. Again, I'd rather. This one I just wanted to zoom out a little bit.
I
But
think, yeah, this one. They said it. There's really not much you can say. It's just a great model, and
yeah,
having seen all of these, I've looked through these commended entries before and seeing that these are just the commended entries.
mm-hmm.
I gotta say, man, I am not looking forward to ever potentially competing into a UK Golden Demon.
Oh God, no. Ugh. That's why they come over here. Um,
Yeah, to stomp the playground, as it were.
yeah. Well, next up, it looks like we have an Autark, and the lighting on this is stupid. Stupid good. This thing looks ridiculous. Even like the lighting from the background, and then the extra lighting from the gun. This is dumb. How good this is.
Yeah, this one's definitely a piece that I can see it likely earned its commendation based on just the level of artistry alone in it. I can pick out some interesting artifacts in terms of some technical skill, but no, it's amazing. Like even looking at the models again, looking at the left leg where you have obviously the red armor, the way that the bounce light is interacting with the armor in terms of altering the color to be more of a fuchsia color or magenta color as opposed to being like the more of a fuchsia, excuse me, yeah, not a magenta, fuchsia color, compared to the more blood red color in the center of the body.
Oh yeah, and it's just yeah, I mean, there's probably something minor wrong with it. I know I'm getting into the same thing again, but it just what I'm saying here is that it's got a different style. It doesn't have the like heavy metal style that you see a lot, especially in Golden Demon, and I like it.
Yeah, a great example of artistry in the hobby.
Then we got a Sister of Battle. She's ooh, that face. I mean, he painted it well. Just ooh, that face. She's not happy. Though it looks like
No,
a dude in a wig.
That sword though looks really good.
Oh no, the NMMM blah, 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 on the sword is great. Um, and the subtle variations of the reds throughout the armor, instead of painting like these little bits and stuff, are usually painted a different color. Completely, it's like gold or something. But the fact that they just went all red, and yeah, no, it looks great.
I think I'm not 100% certain, but I think this is a YouTuber actually. I think this is Midwinter Minis or somebody.
Really?
I think it is.
Huh. From his videos, I wouldn't have. It's no offense to him. He makes very pretty models. I didn't think he was this level.
I'm not. It looks super familiar to me. I think this might be. If it's not Midwinter Minis, I think it's. It's gonna drive me nuts. I saw this being worked on in.
It's not Midwinter, apparently. That's what Andrew says.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it is a YouTuber, but not Midwinter. Okay. Oh, hmm. All right, we'll figure it out later on at some point in time.
Yeah. And we got a lovely Ragnar Blackmane without black hair, which makes no sense to me. This is terrible. Let's move on. Um, um, this model is just great in general. So like seeing it done up so well is nice, and the armor is not like the classic blue. It's all non-metal metallics.
Looking here. Okay, so we're looking at the Ragnar.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking. I was trying to figure out who this was. I saw that picture before. Yes, a classic blonde Ragnar.
Yeah. It's not. He's Blackmane. His literal name is Blackmane. Whatever. Because he has a black mane.
Well, I mean, he was originally blonde.
No, he wasn't. He was black.
Yes, he was.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I don't know
The,
his.
the very first and original Ragnar Blackmane miniature was painted as blonde.
Oh, okay.
And then I think that was like the third edition Ragnar Blackmane. They painted him as blonde.
Mm. That's
Uh,
that's weird.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure after third edition, like fourth edition onwards, they painted him with the classic color scheme that we see today.
Gotcha. Okay. We got a what's this? Kazarkin sniper? Is this what this is? I don't know what this is. I realize it's a sniper. I just don't know. It's Imperial Guard, I assume.
Let's see here.
Oh, there it is. And yeah, Blackmane was apparently the color of the wolf he killed in his books. I don't care. Blackmane means he should have black hair. And there's the picture. Okay, let me open that.
Yeah, that's a very second third edition paint job there. Yeah, this is a great. I'm pretty sure it is a Casterkin.
Yeah, this thing hurts to look at, and it's very tiny. Hang on. The resolution is still terrible. Oh yeah. Well, that was also like the Ragnar model until recently. So.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anyway, back to Golden Demon. Yes, I think this is Kazarkin. It's a great little like display too, with the window and the base of it. Love it. Approve. Always like to see a darker skin tone because I have such trouble painting dark skin tones. Ugh. It's very well done.
Whenever I try to work on mine, I have a hard time getting a darker skin tone because I either tend to go too purpley or I get too fair and it ends up looking not like a darker skin tone but more like a Middle Eastern style skin tone.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, it is rough because it's the one I've always painted. It's my skin tone, so like I'm going to probably paint my skin tone. So it's hard to get out of. It's the comfort zone of getting into a different one. So like I could do a little tanner. I could do a little. Well, I mean I'm translucent, so there's not getting paler. But yeah, it's it's working outside of your comfort zone. Speaking of skin tones, look at this Kroot. He is literally white.
Yeah, great texture in the leather, in the legs. Um, Nice color combination, good color palette.
Yeah.
I, this model I think is well executed. Just doesn't really pack a whole lot of wow factor.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's what. Also, it's because it's on a white background. For something like this, I think they should have black backgrounds ready. But, yeah, it's the white is very well executed, and white is very hard to execute correctly. But yeah, it's not a.
So I can tell you two things as to why it's in a white background. First thing is that I think it's an editing thing, and second is that they actually don't have a photo booth like the
Mm,
what we're used to working with. They have a photo tent. So with sorry about that. With the they put the miniatures in a tent that just
ah,
puts lighting in, and then they have a computer controlled camera that takes it. I was watching them take the photos. Um, I do want to point out though the guy did a great job painting wood grain
oh,
onto his rifle.
oh yeah. You could barely see it, but like what you can see looks great. Oh, I love the leather. Anyway, all right. Well, nice to see some Xenos. And then this special edition model from Warhammer Plus. I forget what
Excellent
he's
paint. I'm sorry.
I forget what he's called. What his name is.
I don't remember either. I'm just going to go on record and say excellent paint job. A lot of talent to the artist. I just don't like this model. I
Yeah.
really don't like this model.
I know. I've been like, do I want to buy this? Because I have Warhammer Plus and I like special edition models, but it's ugly. I like the
Yeah.
Power Fist. That's all I want is like them to replicate the Power Fist a bunch of times for me, and I'll buy that. The rest of
Mm,
him, I don't like.
yeah. Not a model that I like. If you like it, cool. Like I said, the Nicholas here who painted this, Nicholas Mortensen, which is another name that I recognize. I have to see if I can figure out who I recognize him from. Um, Beautiful paint job, looks great, excellent OSL. Everything technically about the model is really fantastic. I just do not like the model.
Yeah, yeah, and it's funny because even little parts of the model I really like, and it's just like that gun throws me way off. Number one, and then his stance, but like everything else about like each little individual part of the model is great. But then when it's all together, I don't know. I'm rambling. It's
It's a modern model that's trying to pose as a early third edition or fourth edition model.
yeah.
It's got like hey fellow teenagers type of vibe, but in the
Mm-hmm.
modeling world.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, now we have Age of Sigmar stuff. We're gonna try and get through these quickly. Even though they have the better models. I forget what this model's called, but he's like the Grandmaster or something. And his look at that non-metal metallics, so pretty. The little glow in the dragon head on his shoulder. I think that's supposed to be glow. And
I think that's verdigris actually,
oh, really? Okay. Well,
but it plays well because he does have the glow there, so it carries over well. I don't think it's a glow. I think it's verdigris. Yeah, but Mr. Kim's paint job here is just fantastic.
oh yeah.
This is a level of non-metallics that I wish that
I, I had the patience for.
I, I I really just got to work on getting my lighting correct. This is such an odd shape to get correct because you've got almost you've got spheres interacting with cubes, interacting with cones. It's this one's probably a bit of a nightmare just to figure out how to get all your speculars in.
Right. Right. Hmm. All right. And then we have complex model. Um, Again, I don't know what this is. This is it's Lumineth, but they're high elves. It's their high elf on their oh, it's not the kangaroo horse, it's the other one. But yes, again, all the same things apply. Plus gems, lots of gems. The
Hmm.
gems are pretty. I like the color palette. I like the purple. I don't get to see purple often enough.
Yeah, it's a very nice cool color palette with the with the gold tones complementing all the like the gold is probably the warmest color in there, and it complements all the uh, cooler tones that exist throughout very nicely. Makes the gold really stand out.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's the same model. This time in pink. And light purple.
Excellent color. This is an excellent choice in terms of the color palette, because magentas and violets, a lot of people tend to equate um, yellow as being the opposite color or complementary color to purples or colors in that family. It's actually yellow green or lime green.
Mm-hmm.
So great. This piece right here is excellent compositionally.
Oh yeah, very
Excellent
well
work
done.
of bounce lighting too in the non-metallic metals and the barding where you can see the purple coming through and you can see the green in the lower portions. Fantastic piece.
Oh yeah, and even in the
Uh,
sword, which you can barely see because of the background, but like that even has it.
and the artist Jose did a fantastic job getting texture into the both the fur as well as the cloak itself. So just an overall wonderful piece. I'm just kind of curious as to how close this actually came to getting a demon, because this is, technically speaking, a very excellent model.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, and we have an Oga. Um, hey, looks good. That's
Yeah, I
this.
honestly, it's the same thing. As far as Golden Demon Pieces commended entries are concerned, absolutely excellent. Top of the world. He's top painter here in the world in terms of his performance. But as far as Golden Demon entries are concerned, yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Just it's good.
I like the little design on the sword.
Yeah, that is cool. That's some really neat freehanding he's got going on there.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have a chameleon skink. Very nice. I like the purples. Um, Fun fact: apparently, chameleons don't do that as camouflage. That is more of a like sexual response and things like that. So when they change colors, it's not actually to blend in.
I thought it was more of like a an emotional thing.
Yeah, emotional or sexual display, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Like most weird things in nature, it is because of sex. It's true. um,
Well, this stream just took a weird left turn.
I I am a nerd for evolution and dinosaurs and things like that. So like, I've watched enough things where they're looking at dinosaurs and they're like, well, it seems weird and useless, but it's probably to attract a mate. But
Fair enough.
either way, for the crazy fantasy lizard people, that doesn't make any sense because they come from spawning pools. So who cares? Anyway, um, uh, it looks good. Uh,
Yes,
Not a lot more I can say about that one. It's just generally good.
I think the only thing it's the base feels underdeveloped for this one. I think that's probably where he lost it.
Probably.
That'd be my only guess. Not well, and the skink or chameleon looks really good. Some little issues with the blending and things like that, and it could be used some extra edge highlighting. But yeah, solid, great entry overall. But
Yeah.
that's probably what I would pick on.
Then we have a Go Trek. I do love the new model. I liked them better in the old world. Anyway, again, really nice. The non-metal metallics on the axe look pretty good. Oh, well, they look good. And overall, just great model. Freehand on the Skaven shields and stuff.
Oh, well, if you're down with the freehand, mention the tribal tattoos of covering the Go Trek.
Oh yeah.
That's really good.
Oh yeah.
The other thing I don't like about the miniature is not the miniature, but the and this is like, again being totally nitpicky. First off, okay, favorite thing is the non-metallic metal, not the NMM rust effects on the base.
Yeah.
That's pretty sexy. Um, the hair, like the hair and the beard, just aren't doing it for me. That seems like
I
it was kind of not. It was kind of rushed.
yeah, those that looks like they just painted it orange and highlighted with a little bit of yellow. The beard, the hair is what looks off. Even on the Skaven, the hair looks off. Looks a
Yeah.
little rough. Otherwise, everything else is great.
I think this is a model that to me kind of rings. He put a lot of time and effort into certain parts, and then as he got closer towards the end, he had to rush.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, well, the hair looks good enough.
Pretty much.
All right, now we come to another dwarf. This paint job deserves a Slayer sword. Never contest the judge's decision.
Alexis is actually painted. Actually, I think Alexis has actually won a couple of golden demons on his own. So overall, high quality painter. Uh, eh,
I just love
excellent
the
paint job.
comedy.
Yeah. Um, yeah, just a solid paint job. Great
Yeah.
texturing on the book on his back. I like how
Mm-hmm.
the dwarf has a giant rules tome on his back, which is excellent. Um, Fantastic freehanding with the ref shirt and all that stuff. So great piece.
Yes, definitely. And then this is an older model, I believe. I think from the like old Carnival Chaos stuff that came out like a while ago from Mordheim. From but the freehand for the checks look great. Um, it's funny because I think it's metal and you can kind of tell.
I'm not. What do you mean? Like the miniature itself is. Oh well, you can the like the chunkiness of some of the bits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I think what's particularly interesting about this one is that this guy is actually like the model doesn't quite come like this. That this guy turned him into a knife juggler, from what I understand. So that's why there's that knife just randomly in the air.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be mid juggle.
No, I mean obviously it's well done. I'm pretty sure it's an older model, which I like. I love when people take the older models and do stuff with them. Um, yeah. All right. Next is we're gonna take a look at the small scale. There's two. We have a Reaver Titan, which again, I was talking to you about this earlier. Reavers look derpy, but they kind of just went with it, and I'm all right with it.
Yeah, it's a good model. Excellent weathering. They've got. The only thing I could say is that I think no, they didn't go with non-metallics. This is true metallic metals. The true metallics look a little off. Like they feel out of scale.
Yeah, a little
Like
bit.
they kind of have that quality. Did you ever get a cheaper action figure or toy that has that that chrome effect on it?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me of that, but just like if you buried the toy in your yard for a couple of days and then dug it back out. This guy's got some beautiful freehand on the top. The color palette's great. Actually, his freehand all over the place is excellent. It's just that I don't know. It just feels out of scale with the way the metallics are done.
Yeah. Hmm. Then we have this from very far back. You see, now they pull back so you can see everything, but I love the water effect. I love that it's skimming the water, and that there is, I think, a Thunderhawk in there.
Not
But I can't tell. But
It could be a Thunderhawk because that is a vampire hunter, which is a very, very large. That's to put some scale into that. That would be the equivalent of
a Thunderhawk.
3 or 4 wave serpents, or
Oh, okay.
Falcon Grav tanks in length.
Mm-hmm.
So, because the front of that is supposed to be like
The fr-
basically like a falcon or a wave serpent on its own,
right.
and then you've got 2 additional lengths of that going back. So it's a big ship if
Yeah.
you played it in the full scale 40K. So that's probably a Thunderhawk or something close, maybe a Thunderbolt.
Maybe. Oh no,
That
I
might
think it is a Thunderbolt. Yeah, because the wings are the wings are up front. Okay.
I think it's a Thunderbolt actually. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got the standard Imperial flying brick look. So, um, I love when I remember. Oh god, I'm old. When the Storm Raven came out and everyone was like, "This should just be longer." I mean, it's already a brick and nobody can understand how it flies, but like, it should just be longer. Um,
And unfortunately, I think this one's going to be disappointing because this is not a clickable photo coming up here for
Uh,
next entry, and you cannot get in on to see the details. But congratulations to Frankie Clark and the Youngbloods for getting um, a commendation. I'm from
I
what I
was able
from,
to zoom in a bit, at
yeah, I
least.
mean the the model looks great from what I can see. So keep painting. Awesome work.
Oh, I love. Did you see the wings on the top tips of the wings, like right where the like bone would end? They put like horror hands or something with extra little bits.
Let me see if I can zoom in to see what you're talking about. Oh, okay. So that's. You sure that's not just not because those are really large scale. They wouldn't just be horror hands
Oh, is that something that's on it? I don't know. I mean,
because those arms would have to be roughly like Demon Prince size.
I'll have to take a look. Hang on.
That might just be because it's Kairos Fate Weaver. It's not a Lord of Change. That just might be a Kairos thing.
Oh, now I'm pulling it up because now I am curious. Hang on. Armies of Chaos, Chaos Demons, Kairos Fate Weaver. It doesn't look like that's normally on the model.
Yeah, those wings they might be heavily converted because I'm seeing again. Yeah, that could be a big. It could be a conversion. Just
No, I think the arms are convert. The little arms on the tips of them are conversion.
wait. No, no, it's not.
It's not.
It is not. It is. It's an option. It's a part of the kit. Give me just a second here. I can show you. You can't see it in any of the photos. That is definitely part of the kit. And here is your proof. Well, I'm messaging you the proof.
Oh, okay. Well, aren't those for the regular Lord of Change? I don't know. Whatever. Okay, it's fine. Um, whatever. I'm wrong, Frank. I get it. Um. Anyway,
Well, it wasn't about trying to prove your. I was just. It was just
I know.
asking the
I
question:
know.
is it a
I know.
conversion or?
No, no, no. I
Um,
got you.
but
Um.
that's disappointing that we can't see Frankie's work here.
Yeah. Well, moving on to the open category, we have a Lord Croak. Always fun to see. That is some nice jade on the top. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be jade or sapphire, I guess. But
Could be. No, sapphire would be blue. It could be green sapphire, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a jade or. Oh,
the two dragons
there's.
are like a teal. That's why I was saying.
Yeah.
Either
Um.
way, it could be a fantasy stone. Who cares? But it looks cool, and that's what matters. That's what matters.
Now this isn't the kit. This is a. Is this a sculpt or?
No, this is the kit.
This
So
is the kit. Okay.
so they have him sitting on the ground. Normally he's floating in the air.
I just wasn't sure. I haven't really taken a solid look at the Lord Croak before. I'm
Um,
sure that Tyler, if he's still in chat, is going to be he's screaming at me. It's the kit because I know he just built and painted one.
oh, and then we got another one that you're gonna look at that Thousand Sun. Oh my God,
Yes, I
is
am.
is that a
Per-
standard model like
no, no, that is a large scale, probably
3D print?
pre 3D print that somebody created. I actually recognize who the sorcerer is. I can't think of his name. I'd have to dig up my codex, but I believe that this is supposed to be a figure or a statue representing the exalted sorcerer that leads the cult of mutation.
And is he like is this like a piece of art that's in the book?
I'm double checking that right now. There is some art that represents the guy, because the Thousand Sons actually have a number of named characters, but they only have rules for one of them.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
two.
well, yeah, sorry. Aside from the big Papa
Magnus
Magnus.
counts.
Yes, yes, he does. Yes, okay. Here's the artwork of that sorcerer. Um, let's here. It looks super. I'm pretty sure this is the official artwork, but I know it's based off this same character as soon as I find.
I love the look of this model. The segmented armor. The oh yep, there it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he is the leader of the. Yep, that is the official artwork. He is the cult of mutation leader. Unfortunately, a cult that, in gameplay wise, never really uh, got much play. Um,
But no, he looks great. The cloak looks perfect. The weathering on the from the dirt on the tips of the cloak, all the metals. This is insane. The more I look at it, the more I find it looks it's like a 3D render or something. You know what I mean? Like,
mhm.
uh,
No, it's yeah, it looks more like an illustration than it does a 3D figure, which is just amazing.
yeah, that you pulled that off. I forget what won this category, but oh, that should have won. And then we have this lovely Nurgle Lord.
I
Again,
think
looks like a 3D print.
I think Andy Wardle might have won, or he at least
Oh,
got
okay.
silver with his. He had this really complicated diorama that he did for the open competition.
Mm.
I think it was the witch hunter, the Age of Sigmar witch hunter is going after a vampire or something like that.
Ah, okay, okay. I know which ones you were talking about.
He either had gold or silver in that one. So
Makes sense. Ooh, all right. And then this Nurgle Lord looks like who is very mutated as well. The lighting and the colors and stuff in this is gorgeous.
yep, I think this is just a heavily converted version of a model that Trevelyan painted a while back. So I don't think this one's a larger scale. I could be
Oh,
wrong, but um, I know the model that it's based off of. I just don't know if this is a heavily converted version of that, or if it might be a resculpted version of it.
I think it's a larger scale just because it's in the open. You know what I mean?
That
Unless they already had something in the other category.
He may have already had something in the Age of Sigmar single miniature category, and he
Yeah.
this was his last place to be able to put that.
Yeah. Oh, either way. Um.
I'm a big fan of this next entry.
Oh, the bust. Oh,
Yeah,
that's pretty. That is really well done.
yeah, I love seeing larger scale versions because you can really get into a lot of great detail in these types of paint jobs. Just every little scratch, every little bit. What's great is that this model feels very 40K, but it also feels very cyberpunky.
Oh yeah. And like the skin is like nigh perfect. Oh, it's great. It's great. Look at the non-metal metallics, the reflections from the reds. Ah, it's so good.
It's a great model that tells a story too, because you can distinctly tell that there's a light source to her lower left, with a cooler light source or an absence of a light source to her upper right. Some great contrast going on there. You can see some really nice bounce lights and reflections.
Oh yeah.
And so, great model or a great piece. Tells a nice story, and yeah, no, nothing else really to say about it.
All right. And then we got another one, which again looks like it's probably a 3D print. It is a the wolf priest,
Oh,
the chaplains from the Space Wolves, the wolf priest.
yes, Ulrich the Slayer. That's who it is.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, number one, this model, this 3D print is gorgeous, and really well done. The Crozius Arcanum in particular catches my eye. This like muted gold look,
Hmm. And that is almost certainly a 3D print.
and then the cloak off to the right here. Ooh, so nice.
Yep. No, fantastic work. I think out of all the open categories, it is entries. It's probably the weakest of the bunch.
Really?
I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think this one's the strongest out of the open category
I didn't.
entries,
I
in
don't
my
think it's the
opinion.
strongest, but I really like it. I don't know.
I'd say that this one or the Lord Croak. Oh man, it's a tough one. But
I don't know. Quite
yeah, I think
poss.
it's.
Next is quite possibly my favorite entry,
Oh, I forgot about this
the
one. Yeah,
desk. Oh, it's great. It's so good. Even the little model on the model desk is well painted. Oh god. And the Horus Heresy the box. Oh god. It's perfect. I love it. He's got a wet palette.
yeah. Oh no, it's fun. Although I guess he can kind of cheat a little bit because things like the codex covers and the box art, you can just kind of print that off. But yeah, it's very awesome.
It's just god. I love that they I hope that like this didn't actually make it, but they put it in there anyway because it's hilarious.
I think
I could
there,
see it actually making it. I just
I can see this getting a commended entry for a number of different reasons, but I just don't know what's actually painted in this aside from the actual miniature itself. You know what I
I
mean?
yeah. I mean, it got a commended from me for just for the memes. So oh, that's this makes me laugh. I love it. And then my second favorite miniature out of everything is the Ultramarine Strike Cruiser from Battlefleet Gothic. Oh, love it.
I don't. Somebody else was looking at this, and I don't think it was a Battlefleet Gothic entry model.
Oh no, you
No,
think it's
I
a
think
bigger scale 3D print?
I think somebody scratch built this actually. That's at least from what I've heard from people who have been also reviewing these entries,
Oh
that
okay.
this was potentially a scratch build. Wish I can go into more or understand this one. It's a cool mini, but again, I don't think it is a Battlefleet Gothic, mostly because consider this. Try and picture how big that base is with the rod that's supporting it, and then imagine
Oh
if that was
yeah,
a
I guess
Battlefleet Gothic mini, how tiny would that placard have to be?
that's fair. I guess they need to put stuff in for scale. They need bananas for scale.
If I had to guess anything, this is probably no, it wouldn't even be like a. It's very like it would be very very small scale. Because consider the fact that it's supposed to be like a kilometers long ship, but
Yeah. All right. Either way, it is. I like it. I just like that. I just like seeing the ships. Speaking of which, GW, I know you're paying attention to our videos. Please bring back Battlefleet Gothic. Please. And then we have an Inquisitor model. Very nice.
I've always actually, if I ever had the opportunity to, I'd love to get my hands on one of those Inquisitor models. I think it'd be fun to paint one of those because they're actually very, very well done. Like
Oh
they're
yeah,
really high quality resin cast models.
they are metal.
Oh, they're metal? Oh,
They're
okay.
metal. I remember
Oh,
when that came out too, because I'm old. And yeah, they're metal. You should try and find the Space Marine.
I know the Space Marine you're talking about. I looked online for those, and it's honestly just cheaper to find somebody to
3D
do
print
a
it.
3D print a sculpt
Oh no,
because trying to
absolutely.
get your hands on one of those 6-inch original Marine statues is yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Oh no. All right. Well, that is the end of the part one. Now we go to part two. Large model Warhammer 40k. We have a Ivrain. Is that the avatar's name? I don't know the god's name.
Uh,
Iniad.
Iniad is the god, and this would be the avatar of Iniad.
Yeah, there we go.
I forget the actual character who turned. I forget her actual name, but it's the avatar of Iniad. Sorry, excuse me. Very well done.
Yes.
The gold on that is fantastic.
Oh yeah, I love the purples into the blacks and the blues. Yes, I mean it's a pretty model in general. I do wish the scale of this avatar was larger, like the avatar of Kane, but um, the overall effect is still gorgeous. Incarn, that's it. It's the Incarn.
Yeah,
Um,
there. Thanks. Thank you, Tryhard.
yeah,
What? That's his name, Tryhard. I'm not insulting him.
yeah, I
You
know.
try hard.
Don't worry, I understand. Um, and then we have a very lovely Angron.
Mm-hmm.
Not as dark and brooding as normal. Though he has the closed mouth, so that's why he didn't win.
Um,
Angron,
sure.
Angron needs to be screaming at all times. Um, no,
Great.
the brass and stuff are great.
I think I say he did a great job distinguishing between the armor, which could be read as either a gold or a brass, and the copper in the axe.
Oh yeah.
That really does feel like a nice copper color compared to the rest of the armor. So excellent work overall.
Um,
I can't say I'm a huge fan though of of choosing the color green.
yeah, that's a little, but still
But he was
good.
going for a brighter color palette, so I guess it could make some sense.
Yeah. Then we have a Deathcore Krieg unit.
Squad entries, okay.
Oh, they even used the birds from Celestine. That's great. I love the painting in the background with the warhounds moving, or
You
just
got
one warhound.
you've got to be careful with this stuff though, because like this anything extra that you put into that, like while it does feel like it enhances the overall piece.
They judge
You
it.
know, they're going to judge that, and if there's imperfections in that, which the guy's obviously a super talented um, miniature painter, but it seems like, in my opinion, his illustration work is a little off. So maybe that's what held him back
Yeah,
in terms of the colors. And it looks like you would probably recognize more of the telltale signs than I would, but that to me looks like he used some clever stenciling and some
yep,
airbrush effects to try and get those those rays coming down like that. I could even see some speckling
yeah.
in the. You can see where his airbrush speckled a bit or spit a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You can't see that. I mean,
So
but the models themselves are gorgeous. I mean, and I like the use of Skaven rats in places. Their little pet at the in the middle there is clearly the focus of the whole model is the rat.
yeah, that's the actual entry.
Yes, is the rat. Um, but no, it looks great.
Are those just like Sigmar zombies in the pit?
Yep, I think somewhat. And then there's just random body parts and stuff.
Interesting.
And skulls from the skull pack.
Oh, there you go.
Everyone needs to buy that pack. I'm not even kidding you. If you do not purchase the Citadel Skulls pack from GW, you're doing it wrong. Because that is. Rarely will I say that something is worth the money when it's from GW, but that is absolutely worth the money. That box of plastic skulls. I use it so much.
So it looks like for the next one we have another Deathcore Krieg or Deathcore Krieg-ish entry. Now this would be. I think this color palette is Steel Legion, right?
Yeah, I think it's Steel Legion.
Yeah.
They have some. Yeah, they do have a similar look, but yeah, I don't care about your 3D printer. Not all of us have 3D printers. Try hard. He's trying hard. Um, but yes, that is it's using the Death Core of Krieg with the Steel Legion colors. So it is definitely they are going for Steel Legion. I think there's a slightly different color or look to them from the old models, but no, this is still going for Steel Legion.
I guess I'm just so used to seeing deathcore models at this point in time. Whenever I see that style, or that type of vibe of model, I just go right to Deathcore. But I forget that Steel Legion is also a thing.
Yeah, and they should have um the sergeant shouldn't have a power fist. He should have a power trenching tool. That's just kind of how it works.
I don't think that's official military or Imperium. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say kit, but standard issue. That's what I'm looking for. It's that standard issue gear.
Shut up. All right, and then we go
Oh,
on to
oh, this
40K vehicles.
this is a gorgeous Bealtan Wraith Knight.
Oh god, that thing's insane.
Like
That's
how this ended as a commended entry. I'd have to go back and look at the other vehicle entries, but oh, so good.
yeah, this thing is nuts. Just look at
Can't
that.
I can't say that I'm a fan of the cacti on the base,
Yeah, it kind of
but
throws me off. The green with the green is a
I
bit
just think the
much.
cat. Yeah, I just think the cacti kind of look like. I think I would have liked that more without the cacti in the bottom. Like they're well painted, but it just
Hmm.
doesn't like it. To me, it just kind of takes away from the model itself in general. Like I would have liked to have seen maybe something that felt more Eldarish,
Yeah,
like Maiden World bits or something like that. But yeah,
or like Wraithbone or
you're
something.
right. But oh, I this Wraith Knight is stunning, and the use just the colors in the sword and the non-metallic metals, and that
Yup,
is I
it is intense.
yeah, that is a gorgeous model.
Yeah, so I was looking up models. So the helmets are slightly different in the Death Core as compared to the Steel Legion. The Steel Legion don't have as much like on them. They're kind of more rounded. But
Mhm.
but yeah, no, that's definitely going for Steel Legion. Sorry, I just like uh, looking that
That's
up.
okay.
And now we have another Cerastus Knight. Oh, this is pretty. I like
Yes,
it. I
and
love.
again, in proof that you do not always have to do non-metallic metals to get recognition from Games Workshop.
Oh yeah, and I am always a sucker for teal.
I can tell based on what I'm seeing here that it definitely looks like this guy did some. Looking at the legs, I feel like I am seeing some either it's possibly ink shading, or possibly he used some really nice use of oil paints to get the effects on the metal.
Mm,
Um, Overall, just a well done model. Seems in some places a little rushed,
yeah.
uh, taking out tiny little things here and there. Because unfortunately, with if you're going to go the route of going with true metallic metals, you still have to paint them to a very high standard.
Oh yeah.
I think this guy would have done better overall if he had probably just worked on getting some better highlights and lots of colors. Like you can,
Right.
it
Right.
still feels and looks like silver, but I don't see a lot of highlighting going on in there.
Yeah. I could see that. All right. Next up, we got a
It's a
shock
shock
jump
jump.
dragster. Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go. I was getting the words out. I love it.
How did I know what it was right off the
I
bat?
knew what
You're
it
the one.
was, but I was
You're the one who struggled with it. Oh,
because words are hard, Frank.
wow, wow. Now I know why you're the third best orc player on the team.
What the? Who's the first? Who's even the second? What? Who are the other two? It's Mark who plays everything, so doesn't count, and who else? George, I
Uh,
guess.
yeah. So you got Mark, the other Mark, Buckwalter, who's the best orc player on the team.
Yeah. Uh huh.
George, he plays orc. So now, if you're going to talk about somebody who plays everything, but yeah, no, you're. I would even argue that you would have been the fourth, but by default, you're the third.
He's not on the team anymore. By his own volition, I didn't kick him off. Um,
Oh, okay. Let's not get into politics.
okay. Anyway, um, no, I love it. I love all of the freehand, the dags here and there, the checks, the fire, which I have on mine, the fire on the exhaust here. Love. I wish I could see the back. I wish I could see the actual um mech or shock jump engine on the back. But no, this looks great. And even the swirls on the rockets, people do this all the time. I don't know how they do it so nicely without spending forever on them. But this looks great.
My guess is that he probably starts off with it being completely white, and then they paint in the black.
Yeah, probably.
That's my guess as to how they would get it done. I actually the thing I can't stop checking out the most is I like the way that the effect that he got in the tires.
Oh yeah.
The tires look really good. They really do feel like worn street drag car tires,
Oh yeah.
drag racers. Yeah.
So good.
Hmm.
Then we have Leagues of Votan. I forget what this one's called. It's the little one. But it looks like the vehicle from Armageddon. Um, but it's great.
Oh yeah, I can't think of the name of it either. It's got like a Greek name to it. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's such a weird name. I don't know. Either way, it is great looking. Where is it? 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 There it is. Sagittar.
yeah, there you are.
Oh, apparently everything in all the vehicles are out of stock for Leagues of Votan. Fun. Anyway,
Not surprising.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm so, as a side note, I'm so looking forward to when 10th edition drops, and what's good in my army is going to change entirely, and then it's going to be out of stock for like 9 months.
Yup. Can't wait. Just be like me and my orcs and have everything.
Yeah, I'm still not going to buy a Mutalith Vortex Beast.
It's going to be the new meta.
I know. I don't. I was just talking to somebody else about that. I really feel that's going to be my luck. Is that like MVBs and um, some other like random model is going to be like the big thing you have to own for 1,000 suns, and I'm like, and I can't find them anywhere.
Oh, just buy 3 Mutalith Vortex Beasts. I
Yeah,
also just want to see what they look like when you paint them.
I am, when it comes to the army future 10th edition. Really, I just, as long as, and so far they're looking like this might be pretty good because we've already seen the Demolisher cannon. I'm just hopeful that the Vindicators are good again because I love my Vindicators.
Oh no, and yes, from what it looks like, the old Marine vehicles seem to be going to be pretty good. But they seem that way, and I say this, but then they're gonna all be trash. But but I can hope for um, Mutalith Vortex Beasts to be fantastic, because who doesn't like Mutalith Vortex Beasts? It's just like the new Tyrannid model coming out, or the Haruspecs, or the other Tyrannid monster with gigantic tentacles. It's what
Yeah.
everybody loves, except these also have a nondescript liquid coming off of them.
Anyway, carrying on.
We have the something or other from the Uruk War Clans. I don't know what this thing is called. I've never really liked the look of it, but it looks like it comes out of a swamp. I think this is
Uh,
the special character.
this would be one of the Cruel Boys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great model. Nice color scheme.
Yeah.
Looks great. Nice job on the wood grain.
Oh, the
Really
wood grain, yes.
looks very good. Base looks good. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I just a well painted model, and I can see why I got a commended entry.
Hmm. And then one of the things with the best silhouettes in any of the games, the Mangler Squigs.
I'm getting so sick and tired of seeing this model.
It's so cool. That's why you see it so much. Look at it.
I
Look
am
at
the
it.
That's honestly quite literally what I'm doing. Um,
I like the
yeah, a
two
lot of
different. Oh, go ahead.
I see a lot of great things here on such a small scale. They did a great job of doing non-metallic metals. The copper pot with the verdigris on the one goblin's head on the top
Yes.
looks very good. Um, I actually I like the orange squig on the bottom a bit more than the turquoise one. Um,
I just like that they're one's orange and one's turquoise because they're complementary.
mhm. Um, I can see, if anything, like what's great about this is that all the highlights are in perfect position. Like there's doesn't seem to be a highlight out of place. My guess is that it's probably more of a blending issue that this person may have gotten a commended for. It didn't go any higher because the blending is off, but the actual position of everything is just fantastic.
I love this model. Now we got the Ogroid Cyclops thing that has an eye patch. Um, I like the color choices.
Yep. Um,
Bandages look good.
the shoulder pad is disgustingly good. I hate
Yes.
it. Um, like that is that just it looks like mirror steel. Like I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah,
Like
even
that
it's pretty. I hate it.
that's like that shoulder pad is very few people artists that I know of can paint like that to that degree. Um, and it reminds me a lot of probably a rougher version of Eric Swinston's work.
Mm. Yeah, that is. All right. And then we got this is based off of the old fantasy Troll King model. Um that is intense.
Is it okay? Do the trolls typically have a like a monster belly like that?
No, so this is based off of I forget the name of the model. I think it was Throg or something like that. He was like the Chaos Troll King. So
Okay.
he was a Chaos Troll, and this is a Troglodon or whatever the heck they're called now. Um, um,
Yep, I see the chaos symbol, the octagram on his hammer.
yeah, and he had a big hammer, but this is a mashup of the plastic kit from the Gloomspite Gits. What the hell are these called? I always forget. Trogoths. He's like the what the heck is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, a Dankhold Trogoth or a Trog boss. Yeah, these are like the big trolls, and this is mushed together with the fine cast Troll King model from Warhammer Fantasy. It is a really good conversion.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know the base model, but well painted, looks great. Yep, big old thumbs up, and yep, just their commended entries are just flabbergasting to me because these are models that probably would win demons if they're over here in the U.S. Adepticon
Oh
or
yeah,
U.S. Golden Demon.
yeah. If they were playing over here on easy mode. And then a pretty, I'm going to guess Slanesh Mega Gargant with its nipple tattoos.
I
Um,
was I I was about to say those are some fantastic nipples on this model.
yeah, a little too good. But
Talk to the
no,
artist. I spent 7 hours on each nipple.
yeah. I do like the purple blue skin tone. That is really really nice to look at. As just seeing something other than normal skin tone, or even dark skin tone. It's purple, like that's great. And I believe this is a Gate Smasher Gargan. I don't know.
Oh, there
Um,
is its loincloth is a portcullis,
yeah,
so
I
it would
always
make
forget
sense.
the name of that. But yes, this is a great paint job. I mean, again, they tend to have the better models, but yeah, that's a Gatebreaker Mega Gargant. Um, I do love this skin tone. That's what pops for me. Aside from the nipples.
Yeah, those nipples are intense. And the fact that they just draw so much attention with those tattoos on them.
I know, you're just like, I'm not, and then you try to look away, and it's just big meaty thighs. Um, anyway, so that was all of the commended in the Golden Demon entries. These were all impressive and made me feel bad about myself. Um, I'm glad we finally got to look over some commended.
Yeah, this was very cool that they actually posted up all these commended entries for us to be able to take a look at, because you so rarely get to see like the amount of artistry that's in play when you go to one of these events, and to see so many other wonderful and well painted entries is just awesome.
Oh yeah. Ugh. All right, let's move on a little bit here. Now I am going to go to the rumor engine. This is the one from the 16th. So this one was last week's, I believe. No, this was yesterday. Sorry. Um, and then I'll do last week's. It is a bunch of sandbags and bullet holes in a wall. So this is definitely 40K. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that this is some sort of orc model.
You can't go with that every time.
Yes, I can.
You,
It's an orc model, or it will
uh,
be one.
is there any major releases coming up for? I know if Tryhard is still listening in on us right now, he's a big Astra Militarum player. If he happens to know if there's any releases still pending for Astra Militarum, like any major characters.
I don't think so. Honestly, this might be Gene Stealer Colt. Well, they're not coming up anytime soon.
Yeah, you're right.
Um,
It could be anything.
I mean, hell, it could be Sisters. For all we know, but it looks more likely to be some sort of Astra Militarum. Maybe it's a special edition model. I don't think they like to do that with these. Um, I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure what it is, but it's going to be an orc model.
I get the feeling that for me, I get the vibe of it being a display base to maybe some sort of major character.
Yeah, probably.
Um, and the only character I can even really think of that they haven't done anything with, because it is with 10th edition coming out, they obviously have an opportunity to re-release and do some new data cards and data sheets, but they could be silly and do something like here's a brand new Commissar Yarrick, like he turns out he's not dead, and here's his card. And because that's actually if you think about it, one of the cool things that they can do is if they want to with this new system they have coming up, they can just start introducing new units without worrying about violating anything in the codex.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we don't know if the codexes are going to be free.
The codexes aren't going to be free. So I do know that when I was at Adepticon, and there was a Q&A after the preview or the
Hmm.
announcement of 10th edition that was led by, it was Mike Brandt and Eddie Eccles, the GW presenter. They were taking questions, and the question of codices came up. Basically, I don't think codices are going to contain any data sheets or data cards. I think it's just going to be nothing but fluff and
Oh,
then detachments.
thank God.
So,
Everything else is going to be digital.
yes. So the codices are only going to have additional detachments. Think of like the codex is probably going to have a selection of the armies of renown system that we currently have in ninth edition.
Right.
Think of it as an evolution of the armies of renown, where you're going to have probably 2, maybe 3 pages dedicated to a new detachment. I do know that like a first company detachment is going to be one of the things that you'll be seeing in Space Marines. They brought that up during the Q&A,
And
where right.
they even said that on the site.
Okay, but what brings it up to me is that today they have
The
a
first company thing.
first companies thing. So they're probably starting to prime people for the idea that there's going to be a first company detachment that's going to be coming up, and this is what you should be buying. Please buy more models.
Yes.
Um, so that's what's going to exist. Like the Gladius Strike Force will always be the free detachment for Space Marines that anyone can have access to,
Right.
and then the first company or the whatever other thing they make up for the different detachments are probably going to be there. Um,
It's probably going to be
so
like first company, assault company, tactical company, things like that from the old, um, the company organization charts they had. So I could see
could be,
that.
yeah.
Um,
The only thing I could just I think that I just hope that well, that's not the time and place to talk about wish listing in terms of rules
we,
balancing
we
with
can
you.
we can hold on off for rules at the end.
Yeah,
We can start going into that. But yes, this is probably some sort of Ashimoto time. It could also be Kill Team or Necromunda. So we don't know yet. But I know that's my guess is orcs. Um, and then the next one, I feel like this is like the second wave. Well, this is the one from the ninth. It's just a scaly tail. I saw lots of people going, "Oh, it's Fulgrim." It's not Fulgrim. There's no way it's Fulgrim. Fulgrim wouldn't come out till like the end of the edition.
I think
Um,
that's some sort of Saurus warrior type model.
that's what I was
Like,
gonna say. I think it's a second wave of Lizardman models, and we just don't know what it is yet.
yeah, like maybe it's some sort of like Croxagore type model based on the size and the with some of the bony plates that are coming off the side of the tail.
Yeah.
Maybe what was the there was that one character, Seraphon. It was like an ancient Saurus warrior. Maybe it could be a re-release of that guy.
Krokgar?
Um,
He was the
yeah,
one on the Carnosaur.
the one that had the golden hand.
Yeah. Well, he's already been re-released. He's on the
Oh,
Carnosaur.
oh,
Uh,
oh. Sorry, I don't pay too
it's
much
okay.
attention.
It's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's definitely orcs. Next up, we had the 40 Years of Warhammer. This week's show off. Now this model, I love this model. It's the White Dwarf with Gotrek and Bookman. This is such a good model. I have this model. I have two of these models. One is still wrapped in the box, nice and neat. Will once I have my display case back, it will be going into display case as it should be with all my other White Dwarf models. But I have one I can paint, and that's what's important.
Nice.
Oh god, I love old fantasy models, and this is one of my favorites. I love White Dwarf models. I have most of them. But yeah, I don't have the one on the cart, which bothers me. It's really hard to get that one. That's one of the oldest. Oh, that's Bookman, but still one of the oldest
I,
ones.
I think it'd be hilarious if they went back and because there's that one White Dwarf model that's in Space Marine or Power Armor esque look to
Mm-hmm.
him. If they went back and they released like a little data card for him that allows you to field him in the Votan.
Oh yeah, I should find him. I have him. I should see if I can get another one, and I'd put him in my because I like to have one to keep in the case in the box. Next up, we have their first miniature. This was last week's. The Standard Bearer, the Space Marine Standard Bearer. This is actually the first model that they ever produced in their Nottingham location. When they moved to Nottingham, so it's just the old Space Marine in Mark 7 armor from the 90s. Even has the
Mm-hmm.
Goblin green base. Gotta love it. All right, let's move on. Next up, we have things that are coming out. Now we're getting into some 10th edition stuff, and we have some time to actually talk about it. Well, first of all, we have the Neuro Tyrant coming out, and they have this lovely picture of it, and I can't stop staring at this thing. I love this model.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very cool model. I like the. I kind of like how they're leaning a bit more into the some of the more xenomorph-ish style Giger, like the HR Giger style artwork with some of these new releases they're going with. They feel more Gigery, if
Oh
that's
yeah.
I can make up a word.
The best part about it though is that not only does it look more Geiger, but it harkens back to the original Zoanthrope. The head shape around the like crown that surrounds the brain and everything, it looks like the old Zoanthrope. The shape of the old Zoanthrope's head.
Well, it probably is intentional because obviously
Oh
these
yeah, no, no.
they're designed to be evolutions of certain things. So yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely. But they're also just harkening back to the old model, and I love when they do that. And I mean, we still have to see the full Tyranid rules, but the Synaptic Relay sounds pretty good, and it comes with the little like spore things with it, and those are supposed to
Mhm.
mark out which units have it. That's cool. Neuraloids. They're called neuraloids. That's funny. Um,
yeah. Was it neuraloids or neuralids?
Neuraloids.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta
It's pretty cool that they have that little token mechanic for them. That's nice.
you gotta avoid the neuraloids. They ruin pizzas.
I
Um,
I think you're getting your characters confused there, but okay.
and showing my age again. But yes, no, I love this model. I hope somebody sends this to me to be painted. It is fantastic. Next up we have another new model that they put out is this new troll for Blood Bowl. I just like that he has glasses. Um, he's supposed to be the smartest troll ever. But just putting him up just to show him because he's a cool model. It's coming out.
There was a Minotaur model that they released for Blood Bowl that looked really good. Like if you just put an axe in his hand, it would just be a great like Beastman modeler to use or something like that.
Oh yeah. I actually just had that up. Here he is. Yeah, this guy looks great. He just yeah, you could easily put an axe in the left hand too.
Hmm.
Oh, it's a good model. That's what the Minotaur should look like, not like the weird over muscular things they have now. Um, yeah, he doesn't even look like a football player. He just looks like
Yeah,
a Minotaur.
you just put you just put a giant battle axe in his left hand, like you said, and he would just look like a front line, like a battle line Minotaur.
Oh, absolutely. Um, okay, and we have the full Terminator sprues apparently that have been released. You could take a look at them. I don't think this is the full Terminator sprue though. I'm going to say that definitely. So they revealed
Uh,
them.
let's see here. I don't see a cyclone missile launcher in there.
That's what I mean. So like the 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 card says that it can have cyclone missile launchers. So I feel
Yeah.
like they left out the last part of the sprue. I could be wrong. We could be wrong, but I mean that's what it looks like to me.
Is there 10 Terminators on there? Because it looks like I only see six.
I think there's only supposed to be five.
3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, 5. Yep.
But I feel like there's another one the size of this little sprue. So I don't know. The half sprue. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I just there is um the missile launchers on the data card. So, but either way, at least it uses the space a little bit better than the old Terminators. I really hope that they're also bringing out the assault Terminators, because Thunderhammers. I'm kind of upset that they didn't give them more weapon options. I get that that's like a Space Wolf and Dark Angels thing, but like I don't know.
Well, again, this is the sprue that I think this is probably just the pack-in. Excuse me. This is probably just the pack-in sprue that's going to be coming with Leviathan, which I think it's possible that there might not be a Cyclone missile launcher with that one because this is feeling awfully pushed together to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a push together kit. I can see all the pegs and everything in there.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
So this is probably not the actual full Terminator release. This is a push together, easy build kit.
Mm.
That's going to be a pack in with Leviathan, and this is probably going to be when they do the combat patrol rules. It'll likely be a named squad that's going to have very controlled war gear.
Mm. Okay. Oh yeah. Sort of like how they did that with the Blade Guard in the last box.
Yeah,
I mean, the Blade Guard didn't get any extra options, but like, yeah, they were all pushed together, and then the new Blade Guard had new like what's it called, positioning. So okay, oh, that
because
makes
you can
sense.
see, I can see right there on the one arm that there is a power sword, which is probably going to be the Terminator Sergeant's power sword, and that means that this particular model kit or this particular sprue setup is likely just push fit, and it's only going to be able to be built one way, and
Yeah,
it's gonna follow whatever rules are in the Leviathan box and for combat patrol.
I feel you. I got you. All right. Well, we'll see. They are. It is a nice new kit. I do like it a lot though. Mostly because they look like they're not completely hunched over like they did before. All right. Let's go. What was the next thing I saw? Um, just some war bands. That what's his name? Vincent Notley painted up. It is nice to see them not put painters that are like the top um on their site instead of just, you know what I mean, instead of always putting like their Vince Venturellas up there and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, they have to choose artists that are going to present their products in the best light, but it's also nice to see work that's being put up by more of the lay painter.
Oh yeah, something that's realistically attainable for everybody.
Hmm. Although uh, sometimes, like when I know that a couple of the more famous YouTubers, when they get these projects, they're like games workshops, like here, paint this Horus Heresy box or whatever the case is. Sometimes even the YouTube painters will hire a commission artist to go ahead and do the work for them. They just submit it underneath their name.
That's funny.
Yeah. Usually now they do some of the work. Like if there was a particularly impressive piece or a character, like the YouTuber would have has went ahead and they painted that one model,
Right.
but then they had the rest of the boxes batch painted by some commission artist.
That's funny.
I shouldn't say that's not. I just know that a couple of YouTubers did that because they admitted so in their videos.
It. That's still funny. All right. Well, it looks like we have gone through pretty much everything here. So let's look at the rule stuff. All right. Now we've got a lot to catch up on. First of all, we have Death Guard. They're terrible. Moving on to the Broken Eldar. Um,
Yeah, the Death Guard release is such a letdown.
it's really I see people like saying that they're so great and just
I think it's one of those things that like if you look at what they showcased, it was everything where they went there to go see number go up.
yeah, pretty much.
You know,
Number
they
go
pre
up.
yeah they previewed the army rule, which is fine. Spread the sickness is not a bad detachment rule. It's definitely not. It's
It's definitely not Fate dice.
no, it's not. It's not Strands of Fate, but spread the sickness isn't terrible. Yes, it is an ability that a lot of data sheets are just getting, but what's a couple things about this is that um, it's any Death Guard unit, so it could be Plague Marines to I don't know, the Flesh Mowers, for
Mm-hmm.
example, can do this, and it also causes the objectives to radiate the Nurgle's gift,
Yeah.
so you can really cover the table in with auras of -1 toughness, which would be great if it actually meant something.
Fair.
I
Oh,
mean, Death Guard has turned into one of those things like you just keep your infantry as far away from them as possible. So Death Guard have always had a problem with being shot to death, and
Yep.
this doesn't fix that problem.
Nope.
You're still going to keep your infantry as far away from them as possible because they just melt infantry. But park a couple land raiders in their way, and then what are they going to do?
Yeah, right. Oh man, and they're going to slowly move towards them is what they're gonna do.
It's like, oh no, you made my what are rhinos? They're going to be toughness what 10?
Something like that.
Yeah, made my rhino that's toughness 10 now toughness 9, so that your strength 12 gun is still wounding me on 3s, and your strength 8 gun is still wounding me on 5s. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. It's just
yeah, it's an army that it's a very slow moving army that needs to make melee combat happen, and you just have to hope you don't get shot to crap before you get there.
Anyway, let's look at one that's slightly less disappointing. Eldari. Oh, this is broken. I hate it. Strands of Fate is stupid. It's better Miracle Dice.
It's funny as I got into an argument with somebody about why uh, we got into an argument with somebody about how I'm like, oh, Miracle Dice versus Strands of Fate. And I said Strands of Fate is just it's a much more powerful ability, and the person I was talking to was just very focused on like, no, Miracle Dice is better because you just get so many more Miracle Dice. I'm like, but no, you literally get to plan everything with Strands of Fate. You know exactly what you have to work with. You can mulligan to get the results that you want over and over again until you're satisfied with the result. You do generate extra fate dice, and I could be very wrong about this because we haven't seen the full picture on Sisters of Battle yet. But unless Sisters of Battle have some sort of miracle dice spend mechanic or some sort of flip mechanic, Sisters can just straight up just have garbage results. Like 1s and 2s may not mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
So 1s and 2s at least had a use in current 9th edition because you can use them for their spend mechanics, their stratagems or abilities that required you to sacrifice a miracle die, or use them for morale checks. And now Battle Shock is you want higher dice, so there's really nothing to hold on to. Their detachment rolls super strong. Like,
oh yeah,
there are whole armies that got nerfed because of this particular thing. The master artisans. And this is what's caused. Like, I think this detachment rule is currently what's causing a huge problem for players in terms of what's making. I think it's what's making Iron Hands like one of the strongest armies right now.
Again. Yeah, something like that.
The Farseer I don't find to be particularly super impressive. Its damage output is eh.
The damage output isn't the thing; it's the ability.
Well, Fortune is okay. That's not bad.
No, it's the branching fates. It's literally the branching fates.
Yeah, the utility there is just excellent. Yeah. The only thing that is
you could throw out the rest of that data slate, by the way, and just give me branching fates.
Well, it is rather short range at 12 inches, so that means your Farseer is going to have to be particularly aggressive if you want him to try and keep up with some of your Aspect Warriors, which is like if you're going to do anything like with certain units like Aspect Warriors, like Banshees or Striking Scorpions, you're probably going to be using that opportunity to flip a 1 into a 6 for a charge roll or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have to assume that the jet bike one has the same ability. I would assume because they're both Farseers, but they probably don't. But still, branching fate. It's still a 25-inch bubble. I realize that it's not 25 inches from the Farseer, but like it is a bubble that is 25 inches wide.
I get what you're saying with that. Yeah. I want to say, since you brought it up, I really hope that like the difference between Like a Farseer and a Farseer Skyrunner isn't just one moves 16 inches and one doesn't.
Oh, same. I just, uh, I have no
Because
hope here.
because you know, my particular faction is just nothing but sorcerers, and if there's very little difference between a sorcerer and an exalted sorcerer, or a sorcerer in Terminator armor, or a sorcerer on a disc, or a sorcerer,
Oh no,
yeah, you get where I'm going with
I
this.
got him all depressed about Thousand Suns again.
Oh no, I'm not depressed. I'm just saying, like, I just hope that they figure out a reason for why different sorcerer profiles should exist.
No, I know. Um, yeah, and I agree, but it's all a we'll see thing for the moment. And then we have Guardians that generate fate dice.
I like how they call them Defenders of Fate, and then there's Defenders of Faith. Like,
Uh huh.
it's just, I bet they felt proud of that one.
Oh no, they did. You know they did.
Yeah.
And then Fire Prism, Fire and Fade. You get that back. Yeah, these are all expected things. Then we had the Adeptus Mechanicus, which I really didn't look over too well. They
Fire,
seemed
Fire,
okay.
Fire and Fade at least is expensive, and
Yeah,
2 CP is quite a bit to spend just to save one Fire Prism from getting shot off the table.
it's true. I will give it that.
Um, Admech is Admech is just a middle ground shooting army now. Everything's pretty much revolving around 4s and 5s,
The
which I think is fine.
the Rad Bombardment seems cool.
I think that's the big thing, yeah, is the rad bombardment. It's an army that's going to try its best to force you out of your deployment zone, so you can't just. Yeah, it's going to try and force a fight into the mid zone with that.
I like the Rust Stalkers rule. Call is cool. He's got that multi the choose between these aura options rule that we're seeing on the big bad of the codexes, or
Yeah, the canticles. Yeah,
yeah. Well, like Gilliman has, and what's his face has. I can't wait to see what Gaz gets, even though they're going to be last probably. Um, and
assuming that you even get to see Gaz.
yeah, I know. Anyway, um, but yeah, AdMech seems solid. We'll see what happens. Again, we haven't seen the full armies. Hell, Death Guard and Votan was another one people were complaining about. Might just be broken as hell, and we just haven't seen them yet.
Hmm. Yeah, we're missing so much context. I mean, um, I was just having a conversation with a number. Remember how when Necrons first dropped, there was a lot of cries and complaints over their leadership value,
Yeah,
and I said, like, well, we haven't seen everything yet, but their low leadership might exist because they may just have the ability to ignore battle shock altogether, because you're guaranteed to get models back in your command phase with reanimation protocols, and if you can pretty much just every turn be like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, I get back 6 Necron warriors.
yeah,
Oh, I don't have to test for battle shock anymore. Like, it just makes it so you can just avoid the battle shock altogether. It's probably the reason why their battle shock is actually so low, or their leadership is so low, relatively speaking.
yeah. Agreed.
And sure enough, when we saw that leak today, the very last thing you do in any command phase, it's a whole separate step, is battle shock, which means Necrons get to reanimate prior to battle shock, which means they get to ignore battle shock effectively.
I also haven't read through that whole thing yet, but
I would
uh,
recommend checking out Tactical Tortoise's breakdown. It's about an hour long, but he does a really good job going through everything.
I'll have to listen to that next time I'm working. I'll be off tomorrow. I got engagement photos. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, nice.
Uh, anyway, we got world leaders.
Probably the weirdest preview so far.
Yeah, I don't like random. I
Yeah,
get it. I get that the averages and how it should be not too hard to get stuff, but like,
but
eh,
the blood tithe mechanic seems so good. You kill stuff or get killed, get blood points, spend blood points.
yeah.
Like, now we're just
Was that too close to what the sisters do with the dying and getting stuff?
I don't know. That seemed like a very fun and thematic thing. Now we're playing poker every
Yeah,
turn.
I don't like that. I liked the Blood Tithe. I thought this was going to be like the army that stays the most similar. You know what I mean? Because they were the
Yeah,
last ones.
I get it. That's what I would think. That's what I would have thought too. Like this, to the blood tithe mechanic is still so new
I
that
know.
why would they feel the need to go ahead and just completely overhaul it into a new system?
I I don't know. I don't like it. I don't think it's going to do anything for them either. I think it's going
I,
to hinder them.
I mean, granted, this has been in playtesting now for about a year and a half ish, so maybe during playtesting they found that the blood tithe mechanic just doesn't work
Yeah,
for
maybe.
some reason. But
I don't know.
you're
We'll see. I mean, everything is more durable in 10th, so that might be why. But I don't know. I I think you should at least get like more points or another die roll every time you kill something or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Bothers me.
it's definitely a thing. Like the data sheets look good. I mean,
Yeah.
Demon Gore Cannon it's okay. It's pretty much just a weaker version of a Demolisher cannon. Um, Blood Offering is pretty cool as a strat. Um,
They
Angron looks
really
fine.
they really came up with the sticky objectives thing for this edition and were like, yeah, this is the best thing.
Oh, you remember what happened when they developed the chaplain or priest mechanic, and that they just
Oh,
found ways of getting it everywhere?
oh yeah, I know. It's sort of like transhuman.
Yep.
This is like their rule that they were so proud of themselves for coming up with that, you know. Ugh.
And then they shoehorned it in as the ad hoc or the new way of testing for certain psychic abilities, which, by the way, makes psychic powers 3 times deadlier.
Mm-hmm. Well,
That's gonna be fun.
Leagues of Votan. This one was disappointing. Um, Not only did they go down like the grudge tokens is fine, I guess, and now it's only two. And they stay on permanently, which they did before, but still, it's harder to get them now. It's only add one to hit roll and add one to the wound roll, which again, that's not a bad thing, but
I think the change to judgment tokens as a non-Votan player, please hope, take that as what you will, is a fair change because I think that they had far too many mechanics
mm-hmm,
that punish people. Like they're always trying to promote interaction in the game,
mm-hmm,
but it's super crappy when you have where your army has mechanics or your opponent has mechanics that you can't do anything about that punishes you for just for interacting in the game.
yeah, I don't
Uh,
know.
I had a game recently against a Necron player that I realized that I actually do better if I just ignore your entire army. Because I was every time I shot like I killed like half a unit of Necron warriors,
Mm-hmm.
he reanimated most. He was also doing really hot in the reanimation rolls. Like I killed 6 Necron warriors, he got 5 back, and it brought his army 4 inches closer to me. And I looked at him and go, "Wow." We were playing a Crusade game, so that was actually a big part of it too. So he had some Crusade relics and things like that that were going on that made his reanimations better. And it made me. I just looked at him and go, "I actually do better by not interacting with your army at all." And I think that's a very poor place to be.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like the ruthless efficiency. I think this is very cool. Um, what is it? At the start of the battle, select one unit from your opponent's army. That unit starts with battle with 2 judgment tokens, which is the other way to get them on there. But if you kill that unit in the first or second command phase, you gain 3 CP. In the third or fourth, you gain 2. In the fifth, you gain 1. I think that's neat. I like that rule.
Yes, I think that that's a pretty cool mechanic, and it does. It may seem strong on the surface, but from a metagame perspective, it broadcasts to your opponent like what your army's intending on doing. Like like, oh, I'm gonna put these 2 judgment tokens on this unit. Then you're like, oh, okay, so I know what your battle plans, generally speaking, is probably going to be.
Or you ignore it and just to psych out your opponent. I don't know. There's little brain mind games you can do with that.
Mhm.
Um, I gotta zoom in. The
I think,
Hearthkinner, fine. So,
yeah,
so the biggest thing they clearly lost was they lost their void armor or whatever the armor was they had from before. And they lost the auto wounding mechanics.
they
And
lost void armor, but they gained toughness 5.
those are not the same thing.
I know they're not the same thing, but I think that's kind of what they're doing to try and represent that.
Also, I think their save went down, and they might not have, but their ballistic skill went down. They were a 3+ army. Now they're a 4+.
Um, Again, I think that feels appropriate because um, they're supposed to be like they're trying to tread that line of being like basically like lesser trained, lesser powerful space marines with Tau weaponry. So here, I think this gives a chance for their actual war gear to shine through, while they themselves aren't like superhuman warriors.
I don't know. Now I'm not gonna go all the way everybody said and go all the sky is falling with these because I do still love this army, but I don't know. Nothing is looking positive. Um,
Well,
Currently,
again, we've only seen such a small thing here.
except for conversion
Um,
beamers. Conversion beamers are sick. They changed them up something fierce, and I like them. So conversion number one, they have conversion and sustained hits D3. So what's the sustained hits? When on a 6 you get an extra shot or whatever, or an extra hit.
mhm.
All right, so for every time they hit a 6, they get D3 hits. But for conversion, each time an attack is made with this weapon, if the target is more than 12 inches from the Baron, unmodified successful hit roll of a 4+ is a critical hit. So they get the sustained hits on 4+.
Yes, that's the sustained hits. Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's a very strong anti-elite infantry. Well, I shouldn't say it's very strong. It's only AP1. But yeah, looks good. Hitting on 4s, it feels fine. Like it feels like a good weapon. Like it's one of those things that I think when it does hit, it's gonna hurt. Um, and I think with this they were trying to avoid creating a new Eradicator unit,
Yeah.
because this kind of looks and feels like it was supposed to be like the Votan version of Eradicators.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they wanted to tone it back because, well, obviously melt-up spam became a big issue in 8th and 9th.
And then the getting to shoot the words are hard. The strat is pretty good. It's a reactionary shot.
Oh, the reactive reprisal, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Very cool, yeah.
And then last one we'll just quickly go over is Adeptus Sororitas because they have their new Fate dice, which are just not as good, or Faith dice or Miracle dice. They're just not as good
Dice, yeah.
Fate dice. They're good. I like how they work now. I'm not saying that they're bad. But
You're probably going to be generating more miracle dice than you've ever generated before.
oh yes, but if fully half of them are useless.
I think anything that's not a 3, like a 4 and above is what you're looking for. 3s have their opportunities. But I think 1s and 2s are just, unless there's some sort of spend mechanic where you can like sacrifice this many miracle dice to do such and such thing. I think that 1s and 2s are pretty much useless.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many different opportunities that you can use them for. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, for advanced battle shock, charge, damage, hit, roll, saving throw. Yeah, there's, unless you've got like 2 up armor saves, there's really nothing that you'd want to do. But besides, I think you can only use 1 per. How often can you use them?
So I mean, so a 2, you never, from how it sounds, you never want a 1 unless you want something to die.
That's true. Yeah,
Or you want the spend mechanic. But I mean, for something like battle shock tests, I could see like if you only have a 2 and if you roll a 1 and you just want to make sure, you know what I mean. That's the only time I could see using 2s. 3s, at least that could be like you're ensuring a saving throw or something.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Like if you've got something that's got a 3-up armor save, you're like, oh, okay, my character's got a 3-up armor. If I can, he just got hit like 3 or 4 times. Let me guarantee at least two with one of those. But I'm not seeing. Is there any limitation right now with the new active faith system? Because I'm not seeing it here. Like I just think that maybe if you just have them there, you can just kind of keep training them.
So you can only do it like once a phase.
Um, Before making a dice roll for a model unit from your army with the Acts of Faith ability, if you have one or more dice in your Miracle Dice pool, that unit can perform an act of faith. If it does, select one of the dice from your Miracle Dice pool to substitute that dice roll. More than one dice, yada yada. The dice substituted is not rolled counts as the value. Okay. Each miracle dice can only be selected for substitution once. That's just saying that you can't use the same dice in multiple rolls. Uh, no, I don't see any restrictions there. So hypothetically, if you've got like 10 threes sitting in your dice pool, and you've got somebody with a 3-up armor save that gets hit 10 times, it does look like you might just be able to go 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. I'll err and say I'm probably wrong, but
Yeah.
that's the way that it looks like right now. Because I know you can do the same thing with Strands of Fate. Strands of Fate does not have a restriction like that right now.
Hmm. Well, we'll see. I'm sure there's something that we're missing here, but yeah. And again, he looks. I mean, they're gonna be solid. The sisters are usually solid.
Hmm. Uh,
Uh,
Chaos Demons are also looking really good, which is the last one I think that came out. Bellicor looks really strong.
oh yeah, I like
Uh,
Be'lakor. I like the demon stuff in general.
um, I think the Keeper's Secrets was a bad choice to preview during all of this. I
Yeah.
really should have seen like a frontline or battle line unit, not just a named monster and then another monster.
I
Uh,
would have liked Bloodletters or Demonettes or one of the lesser demons.
yeah, something like that I think would have been a far better choice than just showing off another Keeper's Secrets.
Or hear me
Uh,
out, the big bugaboo from the last edition, Flamers.
um, yeah. Uh, I don't think they're the big problem now. The big problem's something else with Chaos Demons, but yeah.
No, I know, but they were like the big thing. I know it was a couple months ago, probably, but like I'm just saying, like they were the big thing with demons in this edition recently. So I would have been like, well, here's what Flamers do now.
I think the most exciting thing for this is the Demonic Pact rule. Chaos Demons Army rule Demonic Pact. It's in the middle, it's right above the Keeper's Secrets. This is what outlines um, the what you're allowed to take in different allies. With the way that detachments are looking for 10th edition, I think for me this is probably the most exciting thing I could see because I'm just allowed to take up to 500 points worth of demons, which means that if I don't want to pay a tax on things like pink horrors, I don't have to. I can just be like, I just want Flamers of Zinch, or I just want Screamers.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Screamers come back and are good again.
Screamers are good right now, but they're good for different reasons. But
Mm.
they are very good. Um, it's great when I can take a 70-point Screamer unit, and this happened at the Burke's Spring Assault. I stopped an entire Orc Wog with 3 Screamers.
Nice.
Just 3 Screamers, jumped them out, stretched them out so that they move blocked an entire, like they move blocked 2 or 3 battle wagons.
Oh wow.
And there you go. 70 points. Yep, he murdered them. Like he didn't even. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the Screamers are dead, dude. Your movement phase is over, so you can't do anything to me.
Ugh.
So that's actually super exciting because as a Thousand Suns player, if my Thousand Suns core faction seems to be okay, then I can splash in like what I need, like flamer. Like I don't care about the flamers in terms of their damage output. I care about them as just having access to jump infantry.
Right. Right. Ugh. Well, we'll
But
see. Um.
I'm done rambling on now. So
Well, everything is upcoming. 10th edition is on the horizon late next month. If you haven't seen it, there has been a leak. But anyway, we are actually 5 minutes over. So we once again thank everybody for who joined us tonight. We hope to continue these, and we will be back next week.
I think it's safe to say, maybe not next week, but very soon we'll have some announcements coming up for the channel.
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. That's going to be exciting.
Yes. All right. Well, once again, it was lovely seeing you people here, and see you next week.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.